Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have one of these diamonds in the rough for you guys. His name is Foday Jalloh. He's a linebacker out of Lamar. Nice to meet you, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate you taking the time.
No problem. Certainly a very athletic linebacker who I think a lot of scouts really need to get to know. So why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of your background, man? Tell me where you're from and walk us through your journey a little bit.
Okay, so I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania, which is about like an hour outside of Philly. And yeah, like you said, I ended my career at Lamar University, but prior to that, I was at Central Connecticut State for 4 years, and I graduated there, got a bachelor's in marketing, and then after that, I transferred and went to Eastern Illinois, and then finished out my career at Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, interesting. I think that obviously taking advantage of like the whole COVID situation, you had another year. You decided to give it one more go and ended up there at Lamar. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's talk about your time in high school. I was looking, you went to Wilson High School there. You said in near Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Um, Talk about your days there, man.
So like Berks County is really like I would say like a sports county, honestly. Like everyone's really into football, basketball, and all that. So it was really like a great atmosphere to play for Wilson and all that. And growing up, it was just be playing Friday nights and just playing football. So earlier on in my career, I got to start as a sophomore, and I just ran away with it and just stacked on good years after that. And coming out of high school after I graduated, and I had a lot of interest from FBS schools, a lot of FCS, but ultimately I wasn't. I didn't pass the clearinghouse, so after that I had to take a gap year, and I had to get my grades up and all that. And after that, I had two offers from Monmouth and Central Connecticut State, and I decided to go to Central Connecticut.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, I understand. Sometimes people just kind of have like a roundabout way of getting to where they need to be. Um, so,
Right.
um, of course, Central Connecticut State took a chance on you. Um, I do want to just kind of touch on a couple quick things. Also, I have in my notes you did a little bit of basketball there in high school as well. So, do you
Yep,
have
I
any
did.
success at all in that sport?
Yeah, a little bit. So I was really more so like a defender. So I would guard the best guys. Like our rivals was against Reading, and I would guard guys like Lonnie Walker, Michael Mennett for Exeter. So that was really my role on the team, and I embraced it and I loved it. Growing up, I always played AAU basketball, so I just continued with it. So really enjoyed it.
Cool, but obviously that wasn't your sport. Your sport is
Yeah,
football. How long
yeah.
you been playing football?
So I've been playing football since third grade. As soon as I could play full pads, I started doing it. My mom really wouldn't let me play until it was full pads and want me getting hurt and all that. But I kept telling her like, "Hey, I'm one of the bigger, faster guys. There's nothing to worry about." So she let me play when it was full pads. So after then, I just fell in love with it and ran away with it.
Cool. And what were you always a linebacker, or were you moved around somewhat, like there in high school, or what?
So in high school, I played receiver and linebacker. Little leagues and Mighty Mites and stuff like that. I was a running back and a linebacker. So yeah, I
In-
played running back until high school, my sophomore year of high school. Yeah.
Interesting, but obviously, I think you're most known these days for hitting people. So
Right.
you're a defender, like you said. So let's go ahead and start walking through a little bit of these schools. So I mean, again, you ended up going to Central Connecticut,
Yeah.
Eastern Illinois, and then Lamar. Talk about some of these defenses that you've been a part of, man. Can you just kind of describe some of their similarities, differences?
Yeah. So at Central Connecticut, we played a mix of a 4-3 and a 3-4. And at Central, I was playing the star position slash rover position, and I loved it. Got to be out in space, got to really utilize like my athletic abilities, and after that, my senior year, I decided after I graduated, I decided it would be my best interest just to transfer to try to play inside the box a little bit to try to even be a Mike linebacker or more so like a Will outside linebacker because that's where I see myself at the next level. So after that, I decided to go to Eastern Illinois, which I played a little bit of Mike linebacker, and then I got switched to edge. And then things didn't work out in my favor. Didn't really play as much as I would like to. And then I was blessed with the opportunity to find another school at Lamar, which I played inside the box in the same defense like I did at Central. So it worked out.
Well, I mean, obviously, we're looking at a guy who can play on the outside, but can also play on the inside as a linebacker. Versatility certainly helps, but is there anything else that you feel about you as an athlete that separates you from some of the other guys out there?
I would just say my attention to the detail and just my work ethic. Like I'm constantly just trying to pick up little things. Like playing inside the box, I got to learn a lot, like just formations and just hand placement and body language of O linemen. They're leaning on one side, alert that he could possibly be ready to pull, and just like that. Playing outside the box, I really wasn't catching on to things like that. It was more so route concepts, but playing inside the box, just attention to details like that, body language, like I had mentioned before, and just overall, just working hard. I feel like that's what separates me. Just coming in, relentless effort each and every day.
Well, definitely an athlete who I feel has gained some attention over the past few seasons. I mean, I do recall you being on a couple of these all-star watch lists on occasion, that being the NFLPA and Shrine were eyeballing you once upon a time. So, I mean, hey, obviously we're looking at a guy who can do it, who's going to get an opportunity at the next level. Just trying to again let people know the kind of guy we got here. So, um, growing up, obviously out of Reading, uh, you a Steeler fan growing up? I mean, I'm
No,
just
no,
trying
I'm
to
not.
figure
I'm actually a Colts fan.
a
But
Colts.
growing up, my favorite player was T.O., but yeah, so after he retired, I kind of fell in love with Peyton Manning and just how he was just the sheriff and how he was so smart and how more so that he used his mind to really beat defenses. So I kind of fell in love with that, and they just had a hard nosed defense that I really liked, like seeing their safeties come downhill and just hit guys.
And what about guys that play your position? Like, there anybody that plays your position that maybe you like to study at the next level?
Yeah, absolutely. I watch guys like Fred Warner, Darius Leonard a lot. Just like I said, just their relentless effort and just their playmaking ability. So I really like watching those guys and how they could just recognize formations and just play fast and make plays. So I really enjoy watching linebackers just move fast and just playmakers.
Gotcha. Today I'm gonna throw a question your way, and I want
Okay.
you to take a moment, just kind of, I don't know, work with it, I suppose. I mean,
Okay.
and so the reality is a lot of guys out there are doubters. They're looking at a guy who's a small school guy. You know, what do you gotta tell these guys, man? I mean, that are doubters, that are just saying, "Hey, this guy hasn't really played anybody." What would be your response to that?
I would just say turn on the tape. Every opportunity that I had against the FBS team has been one of my better performance. And you could go back and watch a film in 2018, my sophomore year, when we played Eastern Illinois first, big time opponent FBS, and I had about 11 tackles. I had a good game, and that test this past year when we played ULM. I had a sack, I had a couple of TFLs, but I would just say I'm just a guy that's just athletically, I'm not going to be too much of a mismatch out there on the field, and just somebody that really plays fast and strong and plays up to the competition. So I would
Well,
just say come on the tape and you'll see that.
sure, sure. And again, being a part of a few different schools, obviously there's a lot of people that have influenced you over the years, a lot of people that have poured into you. Um, what have been your main influence like throughout your career, man? Is there like a maybe a teammate or a coach that has really helped you along the way?
I would just say my teammates just pushed me along. At Central Connecticut, we had a lot of guys that just had the ambition and just playing at the next level, like Dexter Lawson, Jalloh Brown. We would always talk about it, like, hey man, like we could really go to the league from anywhere. Like those guys just pushed me, and until this day, I talk to those guys. Jalloh Brown, the he's in the XFL right now with the DC Defenders, and Dexter Lawson, he's playing in the CFL. Just recently talking to those guys are just like, man, you could do it. You have everything it takes, and it's just those conversations coming in freshman year were just like we knew we had what it took, and it was just going to take time, and that we just had to be patient and put in the work in. So I would definitely say my friends from Central pushing me.
Yeah, and going back to those days in Central, man, you guys had a lot of great success. I'm trying to remember when it was, but I mean, I do believe you guys did win that conference,
Yeah, in 2019,
2019. So I mean,
for
a
sure.
lot of great players coming out of that roster, man, that you mentioned there. So when you look back at your at the entirety of your career, what's like maybe the one memory that you're gonna still take with you? Like, is there a game, a moment, or even a play that kind of sticks out for you personally?
For me, I would just say all the adversity that I've been through throughout my career hasn't been the easiest, but I always like just pushed through it and got through it. Like I said, coming off of like a great sophomore year, getting to all conference that spring, it was COVID, and just we had like a spring practice, and we were practicing, and I got hurt, and I had a Lisfranc injury, and the next season I only got to play 4 games, and then after that transferring, and then not being able to play as much as I wanted to, and then after that transferring again. So I would just say all the adversity that I just persevered through and just got through all that just made me a better player and grounded and just like not ever gonna take this for granted. So I really learned a lot from those moments. So that's
Yeah, I
what I
mean,
would take away from my career.
I think a lot of people grew from the whole 2020 year. It's certainly a year
Exactly.
that a
Yeah.
lot of people want to forget because I mean, I know I do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
because there was a lot of unfortunate circumstances happening, but I feel like it has given you the opportunity to have an extra year, go out there, show people
Exactly.
that you can do a lot of things, and of course, like you said, getting healthy and showing that you can be an effective athlete. So. For today, I want to take a moment just kind of meet outside of football a little bit. So,
Okay.
give us a little something that maybe not everybody knows about you, man. Any interests, passions, things you got going on in your life? Uh, Give me a little something.
So outside of football, I'm really just a calm guy. I like to relax, go on hikes. It started out in Connecticut. There was a lot of trails to go on, and I like being out in nature and just relaxing. And I started that in Connecticut, and that's something that I always like took with me to my next school. I'm always just like, oh, is there a nice trail around here that I could go? And it's honestly, it relaxes the mind, eases my mind, and it's just allows me to think. And it's good exercise too, going on trails. And I would say, apart from that, I would just say fashion. That's something that I want to become. So I have a degree in marketing, and one day I want to be an entrepreneur and open up my own retail store where I could just sell clothes and get into the fashion industry more. So I would say those two things.
All right. You said that you really like being outdoors, like hiking and all.
Yeah.
Is there a place that you would love to go to, man? Like you got a bucket list of some place where you gotta go to it at some point in your life.
Yeah. I would say the Grand Canyon. So I always see pictures on of that. So it looks really nice. So I would love to do that. And Utah, I heard has a lot of like cool places to go out and see like nature beyond nature. So I would say that. And Arizona too. Arizona too. I heard a lot about
All
the
right.
rocks and all that.
Cool. Let's talk about your hometown. I mean, that being like, there in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Tell me about your hometown just a little bit, man. Like, what makes that place so special for you, other than it obviously being home?
What makes it so special? I would say my friends, family, growing up there. Like I'm a huge family guy. I had all my cousins, uncles always around, so I was always with family, and then friends also. Just playing sports. It's a big sports town, like I said, Berks County. It had a lot of people come out and go to the league from there. Like from my high school, personally, I had Chad Henning, Kerry Collins. So just it's a great community to just really be around. Everybody's friendly. Everyone really like embraces the football team and just sports. So growing up, it was just fun, just focusing on that and just being around good people.
Cool. Anything else you want to share about you before we wrap up this thing, man? Like, anything else going on, or anything for you, or what?
Um, I think we hit it all, to be honest. I just want to say I really appreciate you taking the time out for shedding light on my story and my journey, and really appreciate that.
Well, right now, man, the journey has just begun. I mean,
Just
the
beginning,
thing
can't wait.
is you're obviously planning on getting to the next level, becoming a professional at this sport. So, for all those people out there, man, those scouts that want to get to know you and why they need to take a chance on you and all that, why don't you give them your pitch? Tell them why they need to take a chance on you and what addition you would be, to their team. So, go ahead and finish this up.
Yeah. So I'm a versatile player, and despite all that, I'm just a good person. I got great energy to be around, and I'm just somebody that's gonna come in and work each day and each like every day. I'm just gonna be working, and just somebody that loves the game, and I truly won't take it for granted. And I'm someone that's really passionate about this, and I feel like I have everything that it takes. I just need that opportunity to show. So
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
getting.
definitely a guy who I feel certainly has the athleticism and, like you said, does have that versatility to play on the inside, as a Mike on the outside, and even maybe some special teams, man. I'm pretty sure
Right.
you're able to go out there and get dirty and
Yes, sir.
do the hard
I'm all
work.
for it.
So, but Foday, appreciate the time I've spent with you, and just want to wish you all the best of luck moving forward. All right,
Appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
no problem. Again, Foday Jalloh, linebacker out of Lamar University. Check this guy out.